And it's some 32 minutes after 7. You're welcome to my banner on a Thursday. Today I'm talking widows' plight. Now this morning, let me just start this way. In 2 days, the world would mark the second UN Day for widows. Widows are often referred to as double victims. On one hand, they suffer the pain of losing a spouse, and on the other, they are disenfranchised due to their sex, especially in countries such as ours. In most of our tribes, a widow is not entitled to anything she helped her husband build. It all goes back to his family. Sometimes even the children are taken from their mother and given to the father's family. Meanwhile, the widow is forced back into her paternal home. Young widows are encouraged to remarry quickly, but older women are not so lucky, with many being labeled witches and ostracized from society. Ahead of the World Widow Day, I want to talk to someone who has worked intimately with this group of women and to find out how, as a nation, we can stop pitying widows and start to empower them. My guest is not a stranger to all of us. Her name is Akumaa Mama Zimbi. Okay, Akumaa.
Mama, you have to do this. Let's see. Yo,
Okay, so good morning to you.
Good morning, Mama.
We're talking about an issue that is very worrying.
Yeah.
But you have been working with these widows for a while now.
Yeah.
So you know a lot about these issues. Can you share with us, first of all, how we stand as a nation? What's the situation like in Ghana?
Medase, you said it all. And you know how widows are perceived in our country, Ghana, Africa. And she killed the husband because the husband is rich. You know, so when the man dies, it's the woman who killed the husband. So they are evicted. They are not allowed to remarry. Nothing goes on. They become victims of so many things, weird things that they go through. Thank God Mama Zimbi Foundation came up. I believe God gave it to me. So I gathered the widows and now they are empowered. It's our 5th National Widows Alliance Conference. Now widows are not folded again. They are open up. They stand and say, hey, you cannot take my property from me. I suffered with my husband. Therefore, my kids should continue their education. You can no more evict me from the house. I need to work. That property is not for you anymore.
But let me just ask you, which sort of, what kind of category of women fall victim to this? Are we talking about women who are legally married, for instance,
yeah.
Or what sort of group are we talking about?
Those who are legally married and maybe they are not properly married, the marriage rights are not performed. Even those who are recognized. You know what it happens? Because she becomes so sad, she forgets and gives everything away. If you want the car keys, say, have the car keys. If you want the documents, say, have the documents. Now, after the husband has been buried, and then she realized, what did I do? You are going for this, huh? In the local, oh, this is the door. You understand? So whether you are educated or not, or even whether you know about it or not, you fall victim to it. How some of the families are going to take you through, you forget about everything.
Because you know, sometimes we sit back and then we say, for us, for media, this thing can never ever happen to me. You know, but sometimes you see very educated people.
It happens to them.
Then, you know, everything is taken away from them, and then you're wondering, how did it happen?
You see, you gave it out like that, and you can't come out. Even the way they will treat you during the funeral, during the burial, things that you go through, you wouldn't want to talk to anybody again, and you always bow down your head.
Let's just go back a bit. Who is responsible for all these? Who do we blame?
It's not the family. You see, it's weird, yet right. Tradition is great, but we need to, renew some of the routines. You understand? Yeah. But I was here, Danny Moo. You understand?
Because we always say that this is a modern world.
21st century,
modernizing
global world,
exactly,
and it's happening. you know, and it's so sad.
But do we know the sort of areas where these things happen? Because
everywhere.
I'm thinking, does it happen in the Greater Accra region?
It's happened. Accra, Kokomemle, it has happened. Kumasi, it has happened. Behind Otumfuo's house, it has happened. It is happening everywhere. In my hometown, it's happening. Somanya, Otumase, Hikbo, wherever it's happening. Boko, everywhere it is happening. Dunkwa, no Finchifu Press, everywhere it is happening.
Okay.
You know, so we cannot run away from it, especially when you're not even ready to marry your husband's junior brother, whoever, and then you need to leave the house. We have to marry you, and you don't even have the right after the burial even of your husband, even speaking to a male. Because of this guy, that's why you kill our brother. But they've forgotten the most certain is, you see, Mama, it could happen that you are my in-law. Because of love and everything, we could share the same clothes. But let your brother die, you will change. All right? So I'm thanking God that he did put that dream in me, and it's been implemented. And now...
When exactly did you start this foundation?
In 2007.
Okay.
So we've been, you know, on and on.
About 6 years? This is 2013.
2013.
So this is your 6th year.
Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly does the
it was registered at that time, but we are 8 years actually.
Okay.
And it's the 5th National Widows Alliance Conference we're doing.
What exactly do you do with the conference?
Great. Every year it changes. And what it is they all come, and some of them is a new, it's an inspiration, it's a tour for them. Because they've been...
So these are widows across the country?
Oh, yes. Some haven't been to Accra before. Some even don't even...
How do you get them?
Great. You know our network, multimedia, I salute you. Mr. Kwesichum, you're a wonderful person. When he employed, or when I was employed in the year 2000, you know, I've been on the screen for years. So people know who Akumaa Zimbi is.
Exactly.
So I started radio.
You started with Adom FM?
What?
You were on Adom FM?
When I started.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So they hear the voice, they know, you know, after the show, you know, I do relationship, marriage, sex, and all things, family issues. So you see the women coming, my husband is dead, and I'm being evicted, this and that. So I said, wow, it is not just 2, 3, 5. Why don't I use the opportunity, use the network, but radio? And so I started announcing, if you're a woman and you're a widow, gather up, this is my number, this is your daughter, you know me, Akumaa Mama Zimbi. I'm going to come with my team. We are going to empower you. We are going to talk to your families. Those are some families have seized your properties. We make sure you're going to get them. So it was like that. So the good works, they were spreading the gospel. So I'll be here, hey, yeah, what you for prayer? So you say you're a craft for, please come and help us. So the team will move and move and move. And now I have over 6,000 widows.
6,000.
I'm telling you, go on the net, search Akumaa Mama Zimbi on Google. Everything is there, crystal, black and white. Now this year we're expecting 4,000 widows to come all over. Saturday, be there at the trade fair. You're going to see our old women doing cooking competition. The most wonderful thing about it is we're going to have a mini trade fair. You know, we've made sure widows are into businesses. Some are into gari processing, they bake bread, they arrange beads, and so
we're screening something on the exactly.
Great.
So you
Last
have to
year.
tell us what this is all about.
Okay, this was last year that we did. Widows, they are young. I think there was a girl there, 24, no, 23 now, she should be 24. The oldest was 110. But this year we're going to have 119, 115.
Okay.
So
we'll bring that video back.
Sure. So what we do is we give them small money to start businesses. It's not big at all. So we'll let you start selling.
So say I'm a widow.
Yeah, you're a widow.
Yeah. And I've been more treated.
Great.
My husband died. I was moved out of the home, and you know that kind of thing. And then I find your foundation.
Great.
And then I come to you. What can you offer me?
What I can offer is, first of all, we have to go to Dove, so we report. Okay, so they take.
So we make it official.
Official, of course. I need to make it official. I don't have the powers all, so we make it official, and then they start from there.
Okay.
We have somebody with my team going home with you and telling them, please, it's not right. If she was your daughter, will you do this? please allow her to stay. So the police, they get in and they make sure you stay, and then we continue from there.
Okay, all right. So you say that you empower these women, and we're seeing
these
some of the things on the screens now.
These are some of the mini trade fair things that they sell. So it's so cheap, and they are born with people. These are cashew nuts. This is Gary, you see there. It's coming from Hikpo. The cashew nut is coming from Jema. And then this is, I think,
watermelon,
pineapple.
So these things are exhibited by these same
women, and they sell it.
Okay.
Yeah, they buy, and it's so low, it's so cheap. They get born to themselves, and then this is dawa. Yeah, this is dawa. It's coming from Bokul, and they also brought shea butter. Actually, our mother, Honorable Nana Oyeleta, bought. She bought some of the shea butter. These are beads from Zimama. They are arranged, so they are into businesses, you know.
So you start them off with some sort of capital. You
give them
capital,
a little,
and
very
whatever
little.
it is they want to do,
they
channel those monies into.
Or I go with them and say, hey, this is Akumaa Zimbi, you know me. This one will not run away. Start with her bit, and then she goes to pay. You know, so that's how we go about it.
So what's the whole idea? Is it so that they can get back on their feet and take care of the children themselves?
Sure.
But what, and we'll be looking at the angle of the law. If you find yourself in that sort of situation, what can the law do for you? Because if you don't have, if there's no foundation like the Akumaa Zimbi Foundation, for instance, then what can you do?
Yeah, we empower them for them to know that their race is still working. A PNDC law 111, it is working. But lack of knowledge, my people perish. Most women are not educated, so they don't even know about that. Whether the marriage right is performed or not, you need to enjoy, because you sweated, you helped your husband. So we do educate them on that, so it's working. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what are some of the positive stories that have come out? This was started. This has been ongoing for the past 8 years.
Yes, but it's the 5th National Widows Alliance Conference.
Okay. So what have you been able to achieve, or what have some of these women been able to achieve? Can you confidently say that you have some women who are totally on their feet now?
Oh yes, a lot of them, numerous, a lot of them. I mean, if you're working and you are able to look after yourself and your kids, you are empowered. Or you're not, you are empowered. So that's alone, and they have self-confidence as well. Okay. Yeah, this is the young one.
This is the 23-year-old who's 24 this year that we're talking about, with 4 children.
Yes. Okay. No, 3.
3 children.
Yes.
So what's her story?
Her story is, she's young, and the family didn't agree to the marriage. So when she got pregnant, they said, hey, move and stay with that guy. Unfortunately, the guy also died. So she had nothing doing. She goes around, begging. So I did ask her, what work does she want to say? She doesn't know BB. And I said, no, you need to do something. So right now, she's selling komikekena.
Okay. And how is she faring?
She's great.
Because you discovered her last year.
Yeah, last year. She wasn't part of the foundation. As the announcement goes on, you have a lot of people coming who are not under Mama Zimbi Foundation. But we welcome all of them. We do registration. So after that, the team goes round, and then we follow up. We make sure we set them up. Okay.
So she's selling komikekena. Okay. And then she's able to take care of herself and her children.
Oh yes. She's when you see her today or on Saturday, you will not recognize her. That is Reverend Gabriel San. Since I started, she's been motivating them. Yes.
Okay. And we have a lot of, women like this one.
Coming.
And either already discovered or some yet to be discovered. But where do you get the funding from?
May I say, my God. You see, you say we food your pa, your piano. Our Lord pass it through people, and then they help through. Like this year, I have Unibank coming in to help. I couldn't have served, 4,000 widows coming. So many times you have sponsors, but some at the long run, they disappoint you. But God is great. People are still helping. They are touched. And I use this network, multimedia network, to say, may I say, God richly bless you.
But let me just, how do we broadly, let's extend this to the whole country. I mean, if where I live, there is a widow, what can we individually do on our own to help these women?
Great. If the where you live, there's a widow, just talk to her. She won't be the only one around. So tell her, where does she attend church? Where does she attend fellowship? Go talk to your pastor, gather them up so that in a group, whether they are 5, 6, we can start. Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. Okay, so we spread the gospel, and that's how it started.
But take us through some of the things that these women go through, because you've been with them for a while now.
Oh, yes.
So you know what their thinking is, at least before you even discover them. You know the sort of states that
what they come and tell me, and what I have seen. You see, the moment your husband is dead, you go through all the maltreatment, and the most painful is your husband will be buried without even you seeing him. It's not painful. God forbid. You were in the same bed with your husband. You got up as early as 4 a.m. trying to do the house chores, make sure the kids go to school. You came back around 5 a.m. Daddy wake up, and he's not waking up. And somebody will say, you killed the person. They go through so many weird, which is early morning, is AM show. And some of the things, they are even made to sit by the cups. Do so many things. They know. But I'll be grateful if at our parliament we have somebody standing in for widows there. So I will discuss. Yes, we do. The PNDC law 111 is there. But are they using it? Is it being implemented? We need to wake up and help. Today it is me, tomorrow it will be you. I went to some offices for sponsorship, and the woman looked at me and said, I'm sorry, we cannot help. Our social responsibility, widowhood is not part of it. And when I step out of the office, the woman said, somebody said, hey, what did she say? I said, she said no. I said, what? Do you know she's a widow? And I shed tears. My Lord up there knows the daughter Akumaa Zimbi is speaking the truth. A widow.
But I guess the thing is, not everybody goes through this kind of situation. So certainly not everybody would appreciate, that God. This issue even exists.
I'm even having goosebumps, my sister. It is serious. It is very, very serious. And I'm thanking multimedia again for even giving me the platform.
But how can we stop this? Can we stop this as a society?
We can. When every morning you come to sit on AM show, say, hey, I'm a woman, and you're a woman too. Make sure you do not molest any woman who lost the husband. We need to ring the bell. We need to hit it every time. We don't have to wait till it comes. Let's say that there's a pothole on, is it Fan of Fan Street here? Do we wait till there's an accident before we start talking about it? No. We need to make sure we talk about it so that road addendum.
Eva roads, Western housing.
Yes, they need to come and see to it. We don't wait till it happens. Let's talk about it. That's why education is important. We need to give the information. Yeah.
But let me just ask you this. Are these women sometimes not to be, blamed for the situation that they find themselves in? Because sometimes it goes back. You're being warned against this particular man, and then you keep following him.
Yeah.
Sometimes you move into with somebody who has not married you properly. So sometimes we call for these things ourselves.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, when things turn bad, even though people saw it and they told you, you did not believe, or you were blinded either by love or whatever it is, then you want the same society to help you out.
Yeah. There's a saying that when your daughter leaves, mami nkoni chi na menye ayi kakra obaja ne nai go stress so ayentwane pepa onodo ahoma so for 13 solid years I've been hitting that no marriage, no sex. And I tell you, this morning there's somebody in somebody's room, he's not even married. So you see a lot of the women who have been with the men for 15, 20, 18 years, that they have 3 kids, 4, 5, that even nothing has been prepared. The family knows nothing about it. So sometimes the fault comes from us. Is it because of we should cut the head? No. We should embrace them and say, you see, so I can't win it. Don't do it again. Because most of them, what they go through, their daughters also go through it. So some of them is your fault. Others, you know, some men, you know, I'm there, I'm serving you. But you see that young girl there, you are 55, you go. Definitely, there'll be intimacy, there'll be sex. And she want more rounds. So you fall, you will die. Your BP will go up. So it's vice versa, 50-50. Some women are bad, some young ones are bad, and then some men too. So we pray the education must still go on.
All right, so let's talk about this big event at the Trades Fair.
May I say?
What you said this weekend?
This weekend, Saturday, 8 a.m. It is ready. Jiwa Homeopathic Hospital, they'll be there. They'll set up, checking their health for them. We're going to have breakfast. We're going to have lunch. Honorable Nana Oyelita will be there. We have Margaret Owen coming from the UK. She'll be there. We have somebody coming from South Sudan to come and support. There's a representative coming. So actually we're going big. I hope next year is going to be big.
How do you transport these women from across the country to the Trade Fair Center?
May I say? And it's been 5 years that we're doing these conferences. So some, they start preparing for their transportation. Others I need to support. So it is there. Yeah.
Okay. So what exactly would happen? I mean, you've told us about breakfast, you've told us about lunch, you've told us about people who will be there
and they'll be selling
to address.
Yes.
Okay. So these women, these widows who are coming from across, do you encourage them to bring the foodstuffs, the things
that's what I'm saying. That's what you saw. So they'll be bringing their foodstuffs to. So come and buy some very cheap.
Okay.
Yes.
So the whole idea is to create a certain platform where they can also exhibit their wares, and then people can buy, and then they can get some money.
Yes, some money. In the near future, we're having Widows Trade Fair. You know, they bring all their farm products, whatever they're doing to sell. You know, so we've started it and pay, and it's working.
Okay. And then, so for those who don't have anything at all doing, how do you get things for them to do? You know, like for instance, like the little startup capital that you give them, and the networking where you hand them over to somebody who can give them things to sell, and then they will come and pay later, that kind of thing. How do you do it?
Like I said, those under Mama Zimbi Foundation, we have their leaders. The team always go around and then we do that. But we believe on Saturday we're going to have another new team coming all together. We do a little investigation. There are some that's even the family are ready to help, but you know, because of maybe their behavior or that kind of thing. So certainly we have a team that do all those research before we put it in. So we'll still work around that.
Okay. All right. So, you know, finally, what would you want to say to all of us?
Woo, all of you, I say God richly bless you. And it's going to be a wonderful day on Saturday. And I must say, may I say to all the sponsors, it was God that passed it through you that you're so helping me, baby. Unibank, Jiwa, oh my goodness, all of you. Oh, the name is gone.
Yeah, so many
of them.
Yeah. But you know, the good thing is, usually when people are supporting these very important projects, they don't even really mind whether you mention their names.
They even asked me not to, but I told them, even God that created us, when he healed the lepers, and one went to say thank you, he asked, where are the rest of them? And Krona Akan, so whether you like it or not for me to mention your name, I still say me that say. I love you, and I love you. The only thing that we don't have any donors anywhere. Nobody donates anything. It is my salary, it is your love that you're showing, it is my husband's money, it is my family's money, it is everybody. So please, when you want to know that what I'm doing is crystal clear, search Akumaa Zimbi at Google and everything will load down for you. You would know. YouTube, it is there, my God. And this is for me, I cannot do it alone.
Okay. All right. So all of us should come to, including myself. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
all of us.
I forgot. We have a short code, MZF. Sweden all networks, just write MZF and send it to a short code 1962. It's just one city. A short code MZF, and he sent it to 1962.
And then you'll be donating to the foundation.
One CD.
One CD to the foundation. All right. So let me just say that we're hoping, in fact, World have agreed to give us a representative so we could talk to them, particularly about the law angle of it. But this morning, that representative's number has been off, and that's why we could not get her. Okay. But my guest, Akumaa Mama Zimbi, it's hard for her to appear on any platform without bringing sex in it. But
you know, tonight, you know,
okay, yeah.
You know, the weather is good. And baby, when it's good, make sure you're married anyway and give it to him. Baby, take it easy. You can roll. Get into the chair. Wake up, shake, and do it. And shake, and do it, baby. It is so nice. But make sure you're married. And then you have to say, Mida. I want you to say, Mida. Oh, Mida, what's your husband's name? Kojo Kwame.
It's almost 8 o'clock.
I know,
so
and Mida.
It's still very early in the morning.
Oh, when you get in the morning, you get smart, you get energetic. When you go to offices, you start smiling, baby.
Mida.
Mida, say.
Yeah, thank you for being on the show.
Yo.